Right now at noon, Moderna expands its vaccine clinical trials to include children. And the Biden administration tours to highlight successes in the American Rescue Plan while Republicans launch a counter-messaging effort.
This is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now on this Tuesday afternoon. Today on the Capitol steps, several Democratic lawmakers showed support for nurses from Unity Point Health Meriter who have threatened to strike unless their contract demands are met. We told you last week that nurses are calling for the paid time off and support they need to rest and recover, and incentive pay when they're called to work on sick days. Meriter released a statement in response that the health care provider remains committed to reaching a new contract with the union that represents hospital nurses. Bargaining sessions are scheduled starting tomorrow with the assistance of a federal mediator. Unity Point Health says they'll continue to provide competitive benefits that support a work-life balance and will address concerns of nurses who have run out of vacation and sick days. Over the weekend, nurses notified hospital staff that they could strike starting March 24th. Federal law requires they give 10 days notice before a strike. So far, Meriter has offered pay increases of 3.7% this year, 3.7% in 2022, plus a pandemic relief bonus of up to $800 per nurse. Let's head to the Weather Center now. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at your first warn of forecast. The snow sticking around for a little bit.
At least for today, Mark. We still have that snow on the ground right now, and eventually temperatures move above freezing for everyone. We've finally done that in Madison. We're at 33 degrees right now. Janesville has warmed up to 36, but then you still have the Dells at 31 and Mineral Point still at 32, along with their friends in Monroe. We're getting there, folks. And I do still expect to see at least a couple rays of sunshine as we move into the afternoon and evening, and that's when we will have the best chance of that temperature to warm up into the lower 40s. But, Mark, I'm always looking ahead. That's what a meteorologist does, right? And we are talking about a wetter than normal pattern as we go through the next 6 to 10 days. That could include a heavy rainmaker as we move into early next week. So that's what we're going to break down as we come into the main forecast here.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you, Chris. New at noon, authorities are investigating after finding 2 people dead yesterday afternoon in Juneau County. Deputies found the bodies of a 33-year-old man and a 42-year-old woman while responding to a welfare check-in in Linden. Officials did not say if anyone was arrested in connection to the deaths, but the 24-year-old man living at the home was arrested on a federal felony parole warrant, and a 23-year-old woman also arrested on a felony drug warrant. To our COVID headlines now, Moderna has expanded its vaccine trials to include kids from 6 months to 12 years old. A trial for 12 to 17-year-olds is also underway. Getting kids vaccinated will be critical to ending the pandemic, says CBS News medical contributor Dr. David Agus.
So we have to do everything we can to get toward herd immunity. And given that 25% of the United States is under the age of 21, this is going to have to include children.
Moderna hopes to enroll 3,000 participants in the trial for 12 to 17-year-olds. Dr. Anthony Fauci is saying that kids in this group could get the vaccine as early as this fall, and babies could start getting it as early as next year. The Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction estimates the state will receive about $1.4 billion to distribute to schools from the latest federal coronavirus relief package. DPI officials are still finalizing how much each school will receive. The department expects this round of funding will double the amount in relief allocated back in December. Breaking news, Governor Tony Evers and DHS officials say people with certain medical conditions will be eligible for COVID-19 vaccines sooner than expected. They'll be eligible Monday, March 22nd, instead of the previous date of March 29th. The group includes people 16 years old and up with medical conditions associated with an increased risk of severe illness from COVID-19. President Biden is headed to Philadelphia, a suburb there today, this morning, as the White House continues what it's calling the Help is Here tour to tout the benefits of the American Rescue Plan, which was signed into law last week. Skylar Henry has more details from the White House.
President Biden is hitting the road to tout his American Rescue Plan and the benefits small businesses can receive, especially those that missed out during the last round of relief.
Mainstream businesses from hardware stores to beauty salons that needed the help most were left behind. 400,000 are now gone. We will not let that happen this time.
This is all part of a 6-state swing for the president, vice president and their spouses to sell the plan to the American public.
It's not selling it. It's literally letting people know their rights, right? It's kind of like you buy a product, you've already been sold on the product, but you need some directions on the box usually, right?
The Republican National Committee is launching a counter-messaging campaign today, spreading the message that the money in the bill isn't targeted to fight the pandemic.
Reports from California suggest some local governments may consider using some of the massive bailouts that Democrats sent them on bonuses.
The Biden administration is also pressing states to make vaccinations available for all adults by May 1st. Today, Mississippi becomes the second state to expand their vaccine eligibility to those ages 16 and older.
Great for the Mississippi so we can get back to some kind of normalcy. We all need it.
Dr. Anthony Fauci says so far there have been a few allergic reactions to the vaccine. Only about 4 cases out of every 1 million shots.
There does not appear to be anything that is what we call a red flag.
Several European countries have suspended use of the AstraZeneca vaccine over concerns about blood clots. The British drug maker says a review of 17 million people in the UK and Europe who have received the vaccine found less than 40 developed blood clots, which they say is lower than what you'd expect to find in the general population. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.
And new at noon, the head of the European Medicines Agency says there is no indication that AstraZeneca's vaccines are the cause of blood clots reported in some recipients. AstraZeneca says it is hoping to submit its vaccine for FDA approval in April. It already has 300 million doses ready to roll out if emergency use authorization is granted in the U.S. COVID-19 antibodies are present in about 1 in 5 blood donations from unvaccinated people. That data is from the American Red Cross during the first week of March. With the 20% of antibodies from unvaccinated people and the 11% of antibodies from fully vaccinated people, nearly 1/3 of Americans may have COVID-19 antibodies. The American Red Cross findings might seem high when you consider the number of reported positive COVID-19 cases only represents 9% of the U.S. population, but experts estimate the actual number is much higher. Happening today, the Wisconsin Assembly is slated to pass a bill to lower prescription drug prices. The bill sets new requirements for pharmacy benefit managers. They negotiate prices with drug manufacturers on behalf of insurers. It would require them to register with a state and submit annual reports on rebates they receive from drug makers and whether those savings were passed on to customers. The Assembly is also set to vote on a bipartisan bill that would guarantee people with pre-existing conditions can't be denied insurance coverage. Well, the girls on an Oklahoma high school basketball team called the N-word by a sports announcer are now state champions. They say their team was in shock when their coach shared the news. Norman High School girls basketball squad had taken a knee during the national anthem all season in an effort to bring awareness to racism and social injustice. An open microphone captured a sports announcer, Matt Rowing, berating them with a racial slur.
That just goes to prove the point that this is why we took a knee. We just want change within our community, our state, and our country. And that change is going to start with people holding other people accountable.
The announcer did release an apology, but blamed the rant on his type 1 diabetes, writing, "I do not believe that I would have made such horrible statements absent my sugar spiking." There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Experts are now telling us there must be a big increase in spending on clean energy. We'll share the price tag coming up.
RHD Plumbing has the most reliable professionals in the industry, with honesty you can trust to deliver quality products and workmanship, dedicated to being the best. Get the job done right with RHD Plumbing, proud partner of the Green Bay Packers.
Get the max out of your tax refund at iMart Express. With 2 pairs starting under $40, you'll spend less on the have-tos and keep more for the want-tos. Our prices won't break the bank. Your tax refund goes further at iMart Express.
So much time at home. I need new furniture.
Dylan, it's Slumberland's Build Your Room sale. Look what you can get for just $20, $30, or $40 a month. How about a dining room for just $20 a month?
I'm more of a pizza in front of the TV kind of guy. Recliners. I've always wanted a couple of those.
How about 2 of these for just $30 a month when you spent $1,800 and pay no interest for 5 years?
Well, hello, Slumberland.
Circulate the air in your home with an attractive new fan from Menards. Check out our wide selection of Hunter ceiling fans and save 11%. These fans provide comfort year-round and can be easily installed. From a traditional look to modern flair, Hunter fans will fit any style in any room of your house. Get this Aegis ceiling fan in a matte black finish for $99.99 after sale price and 11% rebate at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Joe Parisi knows that people in our community sometimes lack basic needs like food and shelter.
Joe Parisi partnered with local schools to build the only school-based mental health program of its kind in the state.
Joe Parisi has preserved thousands of acres that the public can enjoy forever.
That's why he brings nonprofits and people together to solve those problems.
Thank you, Joe, for caring about the well-being of our children.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe, for your commitment to preserving green spaces that we can all get outside and play in.
It's a fact. We use our internet and TV more than ever, with most of us spending nearly 7 hours a day online. So it's no wonder thousands of families are switching to Spectrum. Because most families have up to 8 connected devices, Spectrum Internet gives you the starting speeds you need. And when it comes to TV, we're watching more than ever. In fact, 80% of us watch TV every day. Spectrum TV lets you catch all your favorite sports, news, and more live. Switch to Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each with no contracts. Call 833-984-4499.
RHD Plumbing has the most reliable professionals in the industry. Reliable, honest, dedicated. With 24/7 emergency service for your home or business. Get the job done right with RHD Plumbing, proud partner of the Green Bay Packers.
There is a mind-boggling price tag to cope with our planet's climate crisis. Experts say it'll cost a total of $131 trillion by mid-century if we want to avoid catastrophe. A study just published by the Abu Dhabi-based International Renewable Energy Agency lays out details on the sustainable sources we'll need to get the job done, and that includes the long-sought promise of green hydrogen. Purdue Pharma has filed a 300-page plan outlining how it wants to restructure as a new company following its bankruptcy. The plan is part of a plea bargain in a case where the OxyContin maker pleaded guilty to federal criminal charges for its role in the opioid crisis. The court filing promises to provide more than $10 billion worth of addiction treatment and overdose reversal medication to combat the crisis. Governors from 24 states are criticizing the restructuring. They say it fails to hold the company accountable to families impacted by the crisis and people who survived it. Well, Tinder adds a new safety feature, and don't call it a Toys R Us comeback just yet. Diane King Hall has your Money Watch report.
Moderna has started testing its COVID-19 vaccine on younger kids. The pediatric study is gauging the safety and efficacy of the shot on children between the ages of 6 months and 11 years old. Moderna is already doing vaccine trials on kids aged 12 to 17, and the vaccine has emergency clearance for use in adults. Tinder is adding a new safety feature to its matchmaking portfolio. Parent company Match Group says it will be implementing background check technology so users can screen potential love interests for violent crimes, restraining orders, or harassment. Tinder also announced today it is offering users a chance to get 2 free coronavirus testing kits. A new survey shows that more than 60% of Americans want the government to stop dictating the size of gatherings once vaccines are widely available. But it doesn't mean people are throwing caution to the wind. The poll conducted by Sports and Leisure Research Group and ROKK Solutions shows that most Americans who plan to be vaccinated support requiring proof of vaccination for certain public events. And a plan to reopen some Toys R Us stores is in the works. Brand management company WHP Global has acquired a controlling stake in the ailing toy store following a number of failed reboot strategies. WHP says it plans to reopen some locations in the form of flagship stores, pop-ups, and mini locations. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to CBSMoneyWatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Diane King Hall.
Diane, thank you. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials down 158 points. The NASDAQ, however, up almost 52. The S&P 500 down about 3.5. Coming up next at noon, cloudy today and chances for rain or a rain-snow mix are just ahead, but we'll start seeing slightly warmer temperatures starting tomorrow. Chris will have the details in your first WARN forecast.
Tonight on CBS, it's an all-new night of suspense, beginning with NCIS at 7, followed by FBI at 8, and FBI Most Wanted at 9. Then get a complete wrap-up of the day's news on News 3 Now at 10.
Get more enjoyment from your outdoor space with patio enclosures. Right now, get up to $6,500 off your sunroom. Plus, no interest if paid in full by September 2022. Call today. Patio enclosures.
High Point Steakhouse, Southern Wisconsin's premier supper club. You can still enjoy our award-winning steak dinners with our new takeout and delivery service. We call it the High Point Steakout. Call in your order today.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know what needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here to help.
Erectile dysfunction for men of all ages has become much more common. In fact, most men don't realize that 90% of erectile dysfunction is a direct result of broken down old blood vessels. This causes a lack of blood flow that is critical when achieving an erection. With our state-of-the-art technology, we're able to stimulate new stem cell growth right in our office with no pills, no needles, no surgery, and no pain.
To book your consultation and get back to natural functionability, call Peak Performance for Men today.
High Point Steakhouse, Southern Wisconsin's premier supper club. You can still enjoy our award-winning steak dinners with our new takeout and delivery service. We call it the High Point Steakout. Call in your order today.
Get more enjoyment from your outdoor space with patio enclosures. Right now, get up to $6,500 off your sunroom. Plus, no interest if paid in full by September 2022. Call today. Patio enclosures.
Wednesday morning for St. Patrick's Day, we're headed to a dance studio in Wanakee.
We'll dance a jig in our 608 segment and learn what makes this Irish dance group one of the best in the world. We'll see you Wednesday.
UW-Madison has received millions in federal pandemic aid, yet only a fraction has gone directly to struggling students. And they want to know why.
It's just been embarrassing how they've handled this.
News 3 Now investigates, Thursday at 10. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blain's Farm and Fleet.
And let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report on this chilly Tuesday.
Yeah, definitely a change in terrain, that's for sure. I was just talking this morning with some of my seedsmen that are out there delivering and trying to get ready for spring, and definitely pauses us, at least mentally, if not physically, when it comes to our field work, and that's something we got to keep in mind. I'm going to be up at the Professional Dairy Producers of Wisconsin annual business meeting in Wisconsin Dells the next couple of days, and then off for a little bit. I do want to remind you, though, March 23rd is National Ag Day. Our Wisconsin Ag Secretary, Randy Romansky, is hoping that people will especially remember farmers and agribusiness this year. You know, stop and think about how many people suddenly learned they couldn't take their food supply for granted back earlier in 2020. Let's not forget about that message. National Ag Day coming up on March 23rd, appropriately right in front of our own Ag Day at the Capitol event, which will be happening virtually on March 24th. Tomorrow is the last day that you can register to be a part of Ag Day at the Capitol, so please take advantage. WFBF.com or just Google Wisconsin Ag Day at the Capitol. Markets, got to keep an eye on things. So yesterday I found out that they expanded some trade limits to allow speculators to buy bigger contract positions on our corn, beans, and wheat. That's still in effect. So kind of watch that. Watch the value of the dollar on direction with where our markets are going. Cattle, for example, as well as hogs, are very, very robust based on China's demand for those protein products. Dairy markets today a little bit mixed. Barrel cheese today is up 1/4 cent at $1.54 1/4. 40-pound block cheese unchanged at $1.08. $1.80. Double A butter down 1/2 cent today, back to $1.71 per pound. But we've got some outside speculators that's suddenly interested in commodities, even if they don't know what a corn plant or a soybean look like, Mark.
Well, none of us do right now for the next few months at least.
Yeah, that's right, for at least a few weeks.
All right, thank you, Pam. We'll see you later. Here's Chris now with the warmer, hopefully, forecast.
It gets warmer over time, Mark, but we did get a decent amount of snow on the ground in some spots. DeSoto picked up 4.5 inches of snow, which lines up very well with that 2 to 4 and 3 to 5 towards the south and west that we had in our forecast. 3 inches in Monroe, 2.5 here at the station, and the airport picked up 2 inches. Lesser amounts as you worked your way over towards the lakeshore, and already we're seeing some of that melt. Still a 1 to 3 inch snow depth overall, but even then, it's less than what we saw out there this morning. The roads in Platteville, they'd been snow covered all morning long. We're finally starting to see those without the snow. Even a lot of the roads in the Madison neighborhoods, they're clearing up. So that's what we like to see. Temperatures are now above freezing for us at 33, but still it's chilly out there. We've been spoiled with all that warmth. So to have a cloudy day and a cold day at that, yep, you'll certainly notice it as you step out the door. Here's high resolution radar. We are all quiet throughout the state of Wisconsin now that that system is pretty much out of here. 30s all across the board. Still a couple of spots that are below freezing, but hey, Janesville, you've made it to 36 at this point. That's a winner there. 36 in Boscobel as well, still at 31 in the Dells. Lots of 32s are showing up across the board too. Here's what happens as we take you to the rest of this afternoon. 42 is your forecast high. We have this chance to clear out the cloud cover. Now the reality is with snow on the ground at this time of the year, yes, cloud cover can be stubborn, but the scientific hope here is that with the sun angle being higher and it being March and temperatures warming up, we should hopefully erode some of that low cloud cover for just enough time to see the sun as we go throughout today. Here's what happens moving into tomorrow. It's 6 o'clock. Temperatures are once again right around that freezing point. Our next batch of moisture starts to move in. I still expect the upper atmosphere to be warm enough that this all falls to the ground as rain, but a couple of snowflakes could potentially mix in. We're going to see those off and on rain showers pretty much all day long as we move into Wednesday, even into Thursday. This is 4:30 tomorrow. Temperatures are into the mid-40s for just about all of us. We gradually clear that cloud cover out, but even by Thursday, we're at 36 at 9:30 in the morning. Mid-40s begin to show up as we move later into the afternoon, headed into Thursday. From that point on, we really begin to move into the weekend. We're going to see sunshine, but I want to show you what begins to happen as we move into early next week. Here we are Monday. We start to see a front towards the west. Well, it doesn't move all that fast. Moisture rides along that. We're talking rain chances, and I started at Monday. It's Thursday now. We still have the rain chances over us. This could add up. If we do see multiple days of those rain chances moving into next week, we could be measuring the rainfall amounts on the order of inches in parts of the upper Midwest. So we have to watch that closely. That being said, we're always keeping you weather ready here in the First Warn Weather Center. We are your First Warn Weather team and the certified most accurate team at that. So here's your heads up. We're more than 4 days away, but we are certainly watching a system for early next week. Still, there's plenty of time for changes to certainly happen, Mark, but we have to watch that chance of rain Monday and Tuesday, potentially even Wednesday and Thursday with some of the latest model trends. But on the bright side, the weekend looks fantastic. Temperatures will be much milder as we move into next week, too.
Uphill from here.
Yes,
All
it
right,
is.
Chris, thank you. New and new, the city of Madison is using a new third-party app for contactless parking payments. The Park Smarter app works for the city's on-street parking meters and some off-street meters like coin-only motorcycle meters in garages. The app replaces the now out-of-business mobile payment app the city previously used. Parking division officials also announced they're nearly finished with replacing old on-street pay stations with single-space smart meters that accept coins and credit cards. Well, there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
St. Patty's Day's tomorrow, and we have a sweet last-minute idea that's magical.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Thanks for calling 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Do you make junk disappear?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
Now.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Every child, no matter their zip code, should have access to a great public education. As a former teacher and superintendent, I know what it takes. I've led schools to high student achievement, I've expanded preschool, and I've balanced budgets. My opponent can't be trusted. She's backed by Scott Walker, and she tried to cover up a $500,000 financial scandal. Our kids deserve better. I'm Jill Underly. As state superintendent, I'll always do what's best for our kids.
McGann Furniture in downtown Baraboo should probably be called McGann Furniture and Flooring because we're the area's oldest and most experienced floor covering store. Our friendly staff will explain the many types of flooring available, answer questions, and make suggestions so you can choose what's best for your home and lifestyle. We always offer free in-home measurements and estimates and use the finest installers in the entire area. And remember, at McGann's, we don't inflate prices only to mark them down for a sale. Stop in today and discover the difference. You'll be glad you did. McGann Furniture, downtown Baraboo.
Do you suffer from chronic or severe back or neck pain? Did you know that there's now a treatment method available right here at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center that offers hope of avoiding spinal surgery for those suffering with bulging, herniated, or degenerative discs? Our therapies help reduce pain related to these conditions and have a high success rate in helping people just like you avoid back or neck surgery.
I've experienced low back pain for over 15 years. I had back surgery when I was 26 and had difficulties recovering. The doctors at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center have given me a new lease on life. I am now able to enjoy an active, pain-free lifestyle.
Call Midwest Spine and Nerve Center now to schedule a no-obligation consultation to see if our progressive pain-relieving therapies are right for you.
How can we help?
Could you haul this away for me?
Oh, it's gone.
There was stuff here. Amazing.
When you want junk to disappear, all you have to do is point.
Just in case you forgot, I want to remind you that tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. That means tonight, before you go to bed, you might want to pick out something green to wear so you don't forget in the morning. Next, make sure your slow cooker is ready. So in the morning, you can just add the corned beef and cabbage, turn it on, in comes supper time, dinner is ready. Last, but certainly not least, you may want to whip up our Irish cream cake, which is magically good. We start by baking a yellow cake mix, but rather than simply following the package instructions, we add some dry instant vanilla pudding and Irish cream to the mix. Then we pour it over some chopped pecans in a bundt pan. While this bakes, we'll make a quick throw-together glaze to pour over it. When the cake comes out, we poke it a few times with a fork and pour the glaze on it so that it soaks in. Then we flip it out onto a platter and spoon more glaze on top. This magical cake is even better when it's shared with friends, so make sure you invite a few over. To get the recipe for our Irish cream cake, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found St. Patty's Day way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. Here's Chris with one final check your forecast.
I know, getting my sweet tooth out there. Forecast-wise, things are cloudy for now. We're going to warm up to the low 40s. I do expect us to see at least a ray of sunshine before the sun sets today. More 40s as we go through the week. Beautiful for the weekend, warmer, but also wetter as we move into the week to come.
All right, Chris, thank you. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. Have a great afternoon.